hurt or placed under stress in the making of this film.
Daybreak. Early autumn mist floats throughout the New Forest as it has every year for as long as man can remember. The calls of rutting fallow bucks bounce from tree to tree, tempting the female deer, challenging the males. This is the time of conception. This is the very beginning of rush. Nearly 9 months have passed. It's early summer, and the doe who will give birth to Rush senses that her time is near. The rest of the doe herd don't wait. She moves to denser cover. She searches for a secret place to drop her fawn. Rush is born early the next day. His mother begins to lick all the scent of birth from him. Rush now begins a vital struggle. To survive, he must learn to stand at once. Should they be threatened, they would have to try to flee together. Sunlight starts to penetrate the denser parts of the forest. Stronger on his feet, Rush feels his first pangs of hunger. Gently coaxed by his mother, he must learn to feed. As soon as Rush is able to walk, he's led away from the place of birth. His mother hasn't eaten for many hours. She's hungry and needs to graze. She finds a patch of fresh bracken where Rush can sleep and hide while she's away. Foxes have been known to kill and eat very young fawns. Without his mother, Rush's best defense is to lie still, let his natural camouflage hide him. His mother, sensing the danger, returns to Rush, calling for him to join her. The fox weighs the odds. He decides to find his food elsewhere. Rush is gently comforted. He will always remember the scent of fox. The forest changes daily throughout the summer. Tricks of light and shade bring an endless variety of moods. "6 weeks old. Now, toward the end of the sunniest days, Rush joins the other fawns as they chase each other in seemingly irrepressible bouts of joy. The play is infectious, and on rare occasions, even his mother joins in. As night approaches, the does with their fawns move from the glades into the shelter of the trees. As the first winter frosts settle on the forest, redwings arrive, fleeing from the extreme winters of northern Europe. After their long flight, they feed up on the hawthorn berries, and in their haste, they drop many of them. An older buck, an opportunist, has spotted the bird's careless ways, and he waits beneath the bush to feed on the falling berries. The cold hardens the ground. Rush's first winter will be the toughest. Many of the young fawns will find it difficult to survive. It won't be long now before his mother's milk dries up. Once weaned, Rush will face the winter, fending for himself. By the time the first snows fall, Rush is responsible for finding his own food. Even deep within the forest, among the trees, the snow hides much of the grazing. A farmer's winter kale, grown to feed his cattle, has been stripped almost bare by the hungry deer. This is their second visit. If they're caught during these raids, they may well be shot. Rush is totally unaware of the danger. It's the herd's last good meal for some time. That evening, the forest bent beneath the winter's heaviest snowfall. He now has to exist on very little. His survival will largely depend on learning from his elders where to go and what to do. Long, icy, thawless days begin to take their toll. They test not only the deer, but other forest dwellers as well. Some do not survive. An elderly roe deer has succumbed. Half her body has already been eaten by hungry scavengers. This is Rush's first encounter with the smell of death, and he's troubled by it. For Rush's ancestors, this forest was full of natural predators. Bears and wolves ensured that for an injured deer, suffering was not prolonged. Therefore, deer numbers were never excessive and food always plentiful. Today, there are no predators. Deer numbers increase beyond the ability of the land to sustain them. Man has to maintain nature's ways. With understanding, and mostly with compassion, he tries to keep a balance. Rush has never heard a gun. Rush bolts with the rest of the herd. By nightfall, routine has overcome fear and the herd has settled. Lying in the spring grass, an antler. Every year the bucks cast them, making way for new and larger ones, visible emblems of their power. The older bucks are the first to cast. Their antlers gone, their heads seem unbalanced and shaky. Even the does treat them with disdain. This spring will bring a major change for Rush. He begins to grow his first antlers and is now accepted within the buck herd. He is nearly 1 year old. The new growth forms within a cover of thick velvet skin. It's a time of plenty. The passing months bring longer, warmer days in the forest. It's July. Rush shelters from the heat and watches the magpies feeding on the swarms of troublesome insects. Rush's mother has a new form. Inquisitive, Rush approaches. But there's no welcome. By the beginning of August, all antlers, regardless of size, have finished growing. Rush has 2 simple spikes. Now he must wait, with the rest of the bucks, for the velvet skin to dry, split, and fall away. By the early autumn, Rush's antlers are clean and hard. He returns to the battlefield where he was conceived. Struggles such as this will now become the driving force of Rush's future. Here, on this traditional stand, the strongest male wins the right to the females, his superior strength thereby passing to the next generation. In the early spring, after another winter of drying winds, the heather and dead bracken that carpet the heath turn the forest into a tinderbox. One careless, thoughtless moment can scar both land and life. Fanned by high winds, the smallest fire can turn within minutes into an uncontrollable inferno. The deer, grazing deep in the forest, are as yet unaware of the danger that sweeps towards them. There is the faintest tang of wood smoke in the air. It unsettles Rush, but as yet it seems to pose no threat for the rest of the herd. The fire reaches the edge of the forest and creeps among the trees. A group of does, engulfed by the smoke, are the first to run. Their bark of warning has alerted the bucks. The smallest of changes in the wind's direction, and the fire blows towards the marshy ground, where it falters and dies. Each year of Rush's life follows a set pattern, the only obvious change being in the size and shape of his antlers. This is his third summer in the forest. He's 2 years old now, and his new antlers are fully grown and ready for the velvet skin to strip. Some bucks have nearly lost their velvet. Others have just begun. From the first split of the skin to clean antlers can take as little as an hour or two, or as long as a couple of days. All around Rush, the buck herd are becoming agitated, uneasy with each other's company, as they feel the first stirrings of the rut. He begins to challenge his neighbors. He senses that the big bucks won't fight with them until their tender skin has shed. September, and the horse chestnuts are ripe. Conkers are poisonous to man, but much sought after by the deer. As always, the bucks have first pickings. They need to build up energy in the early autumn in preparation for the coming rut. But all the deer seek out this delicacy to help store fat for the winter. Rush, with his new antlers, is now recognized as a threat. When he arrives, the does and fawns scatter. He's in a sort of limbo. Too old to be accepted by the young, and too young to challenge the old. The familiar problems of youth. January. Rush's third winter in the forest. The frustrations of the rut still linger in him. Unable to satisfy his urge to breed, he spends his pent-up energy in half-hearted tussles with other young bucks. As the food becomes scarce again, the deer herds wander further afield. Rush joins the nomadic search, which unwittingly takes him across the roads that divide the forest. The deer's lack of understanding, and some drivers' lack of caution, is a frequent recipe for disaster. Rush, the witness, may not have learned. The driver has. Jackdaws, thieves, pirates of the bird world. In the early spring, they build their nests, and this coincides with the deer's change from winter to summer coat. They collect the loose hair to line their nests, sometimes whilst it's still on the deer. Rush is nearly 5 years old. He's molting and well used to the bird's attentions. Apart from losing their coats, some of the bigger bucks have already lost their antlers. Others are about to. When Rush loses one of his antlers, with it goes his dominance. Like Samson, he seems shorn of strength, and other bucks sense it. He's badly hurt, but the young buck with the broken antlers is relentless. Rush separates from the rest of the herd and lies up in peace, waiting for his wounds to heal and for this vulnerable time to pass. Over the next few months, he will grow a fine set of antlers. He will be admired, but not only by other deer. A poacher's light scans the forest. Early in September is the best time to steal deer. Rush is at his heaviest now, just before the rut. He's a prime target. Transfixed by light, Rush doesn't see the dogs running for his throat beneath the beam. A chance breeze brings the scent of a man. Rush panics and bolts from the deadly grip of light. The dogs cannot chase what they cannot see. They search the bracken for a moment or two, and then return to the poacher's whistle. With the dawn comes the risk of discovery. Beyond the clearing, a herd of grazing deer. Temptation greater than caution. The poacher risks a last attempt. To Rush, it seems there's no real threat. For years, he's accepted distant men and their dogs walking in the forest. The poacher circles downwind before setting the dogs for the kill. Rush, in his prime, is strong and fast, but above all, he knows the ground. Every stand of trees, every fallen log is foreign to the dogs, and gradually a gap widens. Rush can still just hear the dogs in the distance. He takes no chances. They've totally lost the scent. Rush is safe. Early autumn mist floats throughout the New Forest as it has every year for as long as Rush can remember. The calls of rutting fallow bucks bounce from tree to tree, tempting the female deer, challenging the males. Once again, it's the time of conception. Deer come from miles around to this ancient stand. The tall oaks that saw his beginning are about to witness, in this his 7th year, the most important challenge of Rush's life. He's here to challenge for the mastery of the herd. Today, he is ready. Today, he will use all his weight, strength, and skill in the battle for ultimate supremacy. The does draw close. Bounty for the victor. Rush proclaims his intentions. The reigning master buck accepts the challenge. Rush joins him, and they parade as they weigh each other up. Rush the victor. Rush the master buck. He will reign for several years, and then, as is the way of things, he too will make way for stronger, younger blood.
We'd like to emphasize that no animal was hurt or placed under stress for the purpose of making that film. Now, too, we join Russell Hart.